For politicians at the time, the true aim of prohibition was said to be cracking down on the drinking habits of immigrant workers, so prohibition was also a sign of exclusionism. In reality, prohibition was a law full of loopholes. These crackdowns were also portrayed in a light-hearted, humorous way in the newsreels of the time. The dealers were arrested and then quickly released, as they made moonshine. They cooperated with the filming while keeping their faces hidden. During this period, dangerous moonshine was circulating, and records show that more than 1,500 people died.
Everyone knew who the moonshiners were. But most parents with children that age made sure their children didn't drink that weird liquor. We served them real liquor. I did the same thing as my friends. I wore a silver flask shaped like a canteen on my hip and drank from it. I went to speakeasies often and was never raided by the police. Nobody cared about the law.
My family started a speakeasy the moment prohibition took effect. There was a warehouse nearby with thousands of cases of whiskey. The only way to get that whiskey was to funnel it through a pharmacy as, for medicinal purposes. Doctors would write prescriptions without a second thought. They charged $2 per prescription. What did they do with the whiskey? We sold it to Bellevue Hospital. The doctors all bought it for $90 a case. They sent ambulances to pick it up. The police knew too, but they looked the other way.
A young writer who rejected old morals and lived a wild life himself. Scott Fitzgerald's essays are considered among the best portrayals of the era.
The tide of the times was clearly changing. Brightness, glamour, vitality, all those elements mixed together and spilled out everywhere and began to create an atmosphere of their own.
There's one thing I clearly remember about that era. I was in a taxi. The car was moving beneath the evening sky, tinted violet and rose. It was gliding between the buildings. I began to scream without words.
Yes, I knew it.
I was someone who had gotten everything I wanted.
And I knew I could never be any happier.
The making of moonshine and running speakeasies, which began with prohibition, brought huge sums of money to the criminal organizations in the city. With prohibition in effect, gambling, prostitution, and murder were allowed to flourish under the gangs. The city's dark side took shape. This is Al Capone, filmed at a racetrack. He was born into an Italian immigrant family and rose to become the king of the underworld. In the 1920s, Capone skillfully evaded the law. He was finally arrested in 1931. For tax evasion and some 5,000 prohibition violations. The 1st of September 1923, Taisho 12. This footage shows Tokyo after the Great Kanto earthquake. Tokyo's dead and missing total more than 107,500. 70% of all houses were destroyed. Amid the confusion and conflicting reports, rumors spread among the public that Koreans were rioting. As a result, many Koreans were killed by frightened citizens. The 24th of June 1924, an immigrant ship from Japan arrives in San Francisco. It was the Siberian Maru. That year, the US passed a law restricting immigration, and Japanese immigrants were effectively banned outright as of July 1, just a week later. Paris 1925. Here was a figure who made a powerful impression on American popular culture. Black dancer Josephine Baker. Baker, who appeared at the Théâtre des Champs, Élysée in Paris, flaunted her brown, nude body and her frenetic movements to show Parisians a new American. She showed off her Nism-like side to Parisian kids. Josephine Baker's wild allure swept away the decadent post-war atmosphere that had hung over Paris, if only temporarily. In January 1924, Lenin, the leader of the Russian Revolution, died at 53. With Lenin's death, Stalin came to hold all the power in the Soviet Communist Party. In late 1920s, Germany, Hitler, who led the Nazis, was steadily gaining popular support. This is Mussolini, leader of Italy's fascist party. Mussolini had by then already established a one-party dictatorship. By the latter half of the 1920s, people were taking in huge amounts of information at once, through radio, newspapers, news, and movies. This became a decisive force, shaping society.
The bustle of New York in 1927 was best described as just a step away from hysteria. In a city that was giddy to the core, steady effort wasn't worth a dime. So the term family business started being used half as a joke. Anything that could make money fast was a family business. My regular barber had retired after investing about $500,000 in stocks, would come over to my table to say hello, or forget to say hello. Those off-duty executives were, come to think of it, far richer than I was.